Hey, we're doing it. That's right. Americans, you're participating more in your 401k plans. In fact, enrollments last year increased by 18% for everyone, but check out this spike for millennials, up 64%. Now, the rise in participation, particularly among young Americans, points to a thing that we all know, right? The realization that your options are changing, and now perhaps a willingness to do the right thing for yourself. Now, in addition to greater participation, the Bank of America reports that 27% have actually even increased their voluntary increases. So every year you put a little bit more in. And, you know, I want you to take a quick look at this because you want to talk about how smart the millennials are. This is the sources of income. Baby boomers, 41% are looking at Social Security. Millennials are smarter than that. 26% say, yeah, we may live off that. But they know they may have to work, and a lot of them know that they have to save money. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So they're starting right now. In fact, just today, one of my subscribers sent me an email, delighted about his daughter investing in the market. It was pretty interesting. And then, by the way, just totally out of the blue, he said Kelly graduated 4 years ago. She works for Raytheon, and she contributes 10% to her 401k, and they match limits, of course. To my delight, she wants to take the funds from her 529 and invest it in a trading account. I'm thrilled for Kelly, and I'm thrilled for all these millennials who know the future's right around the corner. All right, guys, let's discuss it because this is what the show is all about, investing, investing, investing. You know, Dan, a few crashes will come here and there, but we invest, right? And the spike amongst younger people sounds like great, great news. Now let's talk about how to really do this the right way because let's face it, you know, Lori, once you get in, there's still things you should do to maximize it.
Absolutely. Max it out as often as you can. But, you know, it's one thing to live with your parents when you're 25. I think millennials are wising up. They don't want to live with mom and dad when they're 65, you know?
Yeah,
so
yeah, especially when...
You understand. I mean, they were burned, right? The financial crisis, the subsequent jobless recovery. Now that the labor market's tightening up, they're like, all right, I'm not going to screw this up now.
They're not going to screw it up, but... people should know, I think one of the big problems, there's a report that I just read today, Americans leave $24 billion on the table because they don't match. They don't take advantage of their employer's match. That's $1,300 per person. So just something like that, Dan, could change your life over 20, 30 years.
It's found money, absolutely. You not only get the tax deduction, but you also get the match. And it's just a no-brainer to invest in that. And your dollar cost averaging when you're using a 401k. So you don't really care where the market goes over 10
Sometimes
or 20
you're happy when it goes down.
You buy more, absolutely. So if you're diversified in that and do the dollar cost averaging, it's a no-brainer. And that's how a lot of wealth was created prior to 2009.
Right. And if they, by the way, the people held, though,
yeah,
they made even more money if they kept putting money in.
Yeah, Charles, here are the facts. Baby boomers are going on Social Security and Medicare. They've only paid in 2/3 of the money that they will take out of the system over their lifetimes. So the millennials better start investing because the baby boomers are not going to leave them with a cent.
And there's no political will because, let's face it, the baby boomers, the operative word that you said for the baby boomers is they paid in. What they never hear is that you're going to take out more than you paid in. They don't care it was promised to them, Steve.
Right. No, Charles, it's interesting. So the baby boomers were the profligate generation, right? But their children, thankfully, the millennials, have learned from their parents and learned from these mistakes and living through the financial crisis. This is great long-term news for America. The young people are acting more responsibly than their parents. Right. They're acting more like our grandparents would have acted, those folks who lived through the Great Depression. So ultimately, long-term, it's great bullish news for the country and certainly for young people today.
So although, you know, I am the Super Bowl of this group, I have a little different bent to this. One, I'm disappointed that it took the millennials this long. 70.
Why are you so disappointed?
We're 70+ months into the bull market.
But they're young.
But the economy's
and
gotten
they're
a little
just
better.
getting jobs.
They probably made a little bit more money. But look, the Dow is now roughly 18,000, right? Where were they at 17 and at 6? And we did this story before. They were so negative in the market. Now all of so my worry is
this is
one of the nails that you approach. Okay,
as you reach the market top.
Right. We're not there yet, but. Because a peak is not a data point, it's a series, and I'm concerned that they watched and watched and watched, and now they said, you know what, ding, ding, ding,
well,
invest.
To your point, let's just hope on the next pullback, 2009, that they don't panic. Instead, they buy instead of sell. Oh, by the way, guys, you got to make sure you keep watching Fame and Fortune Week on Strange Inheritance. That's right, tonight at 9 p.m. Jamie Colby meets a man who inherits a gun that Bonnie and Clyde carried in their final shootout. Remember that scene in the movie, guys? Classic scene. And then Jamie meets the great-great-grandson of a Confederate general, George Pickett, who was swindled out of his inheritance of Civil War artifacts. A great story. They both start 9 p.m. right here on the Fox Business Network. Well, $179 million for one painting and $141 million for one sculpture. Paul was talking about signs of a top, maybe even a rich or desperate. We'll discuss next.